Do it.
Recliner Sports Reporters, welcome back to Keep the Change podcast. I'm Mac, and with me, as always, is Robbie. Robbie, how we feeling today, buddy? It's
Uh,
been a
I
crazy Thursday night football game so far, huh?
was gonna say I'm enjoying this game so far. It's been fun. I really like to see Diggs get in the end zone so I can cash that. I put my 50% boost for the Thursday night game on a Diggs anytime touchdown, so that'd be nice. And as a Mike Evans fantasy owner, a little bit of love that way would be appreciated. Baker, throw the ball over 13's way. He's normally a pretty good receiver. He does good things when he gets the ball in his hands. So let's try to get the ball to him a little bit.
Yeah, I'm feeling you on the Mike Evans right now. I am also a fantasy owner of Mike Evans, and he is not producing too well. So come on, let's go. But yeah, such a crazy game. I was rocking with the Bucks at plus 10 here. But it's looking a little crazy right now. So hopefully they can get it done. But if whatever, we'll see how this game turns out. But it's definitely an entertaining game nonetheless, especially for it being on Thursday night.
Oh yeah. Normally we get a lot lower quality product on Thursday night. Last week and this week it's been pretty good so far.
Yeah, well, the first quarter definitely didn't. It was on par with
Oh
regular
yeah.
Thursday night football.
At least both teams seem to have got it figured out a little bit. The Bucks are falling off now, but hopefully once we get off this podcast we'll have a little closer game and we're gonna have real good finish to the fourth quarter here.
All right, tonight we have three games for you that will be our best bets and best picks for this weekend, NFL Week 8. We are already at Week 8, man. This
Yeah.
is crazy.
It doesn't seem like it the season just started. Like
Literally.
weren't you just here 2 weeks ago?
Eight. I feel like 8 weeks ago we were just saying, man, can't wait till football starts. And now
Okay.
we're getting into November football here.
Halfway
Um,
into the season.
so the games that we're going to be talking about tonight, we're going to be talking about the Bengals 49ers, Browns Seahawks, and Vikings Packers. Three games that we think you can find some value on so you can take down the books. The first game that we'll start with is Bengals 49ers. I'll get us started on this one. So this has been a weird one because the Bengals started as 6-point underdogs. But with this new news of Brock Purdy potentially not playing, along with the other injuries that the 49ers have, they have worked themselves down to only a 3-point underdog. I still think there's a lot of value here because you're getting the Bengals on a bye week who've already needed the rest. And you're getting a banged up 49ers team. But the thing with the 49ers is you are at a 49ers team that has two losses in a row. Do you really? And we were sitting here weeks ago saying that this is the best team in football. Could we see them pick up a third loss in a row? The bets that I are loving here right now. Um, I love Bengals +3. I also like Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown. He just went on his 16th game last week in a row of scoring a touchdown. I have been one bet for you if you're wanting to look for a lock-in bet at all, not just Bengals fans, Jamar Chase over on receptions. His receptions have usually been putting at like 7.5, 8 receptions. Those are hitting in the first half. So Jamar Chase over on receptions. Here's another one. Joe Burrow. This is a sweet spot number. 23 completions. Don't take 24. 22, you won't get very good odds. 23. Over 23 complete.
Magic number.
That's the magic number right there. And with T's been kind of quiet this year. I think he gets in the end zone. So a T Higgins anytime touchdown. Those are kind of my picks for how I see this. But I think really what this game comes down to is who's healthy for the 49ers. I think that definitely plays a lot into how this game plays out. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I hate to say this, man. I don't see that even with Sam Darnold out there, I don't know if I see this 49ers team taking a third straight loss. They're just too good of a team. There's too much talent there. I know they're a little bit banged up, but that defense is tough. And the remainder of that line's still tough, and they still got weapons even without Debo. So I feel like at 6.5, it's questionable, but at only -3, -3.5, I feel like the Niners are a good pick there. So I do disagree with you a little bit on that one. But I got 4 bets that I really like player prop wise on this game. Jamar Chase, his yards is set at 83 and a half. I like the over on that. I feel like that's a safe bet, especially coming off a bye week. He's going to be excited. He's rested. He's ready to get out there. Hopefully, Burrow's healthy for the first time all year, and finally, he's just can get in a groove and just feed him the ball. I like the over on the receptions as well. That was another one. I don't have it wrote down, but I almost did. That was one of the ones I was back and forth between. But instead, I've been really liking the longest reception or rush player props. And Jamar Chase's longest reception, the line set at 23 and a half. And I like to smash the over on that. I think
Wow,
he's
that's a good one.
big one.
That's a great bet.
Um, then I got 2 Niners bets on this game as well that I like. It's questionable with Darnold out there at quarterback, but if Purdy's playing, I feel like these are both safe. Ayuk's over for receptions is set at 4.5. I like the over on that. He's been their go-to guy this year. He's been getting open. Like watching that game 2 weeks ago, that guy is a great route runner and he's quick. So he just finds ways to get open. So I think Darnold would be a smart enough quarterback, even if he's the one that's playing, just to, man, this guy just keeps getting open on short routes. Why don't I just keep feeding it to him? And the other one, I love George Kittle. It just seems like the type of dude you want to sit and drink a beer with and hang out. He'd just be fun. We'll watch some big time wrestling, George. But I like his over at 41 and a half yards receiving.
That seems really low for him, especially with
Samuels being out.
Yeah.
Debo.
I think there's a couple things to take note here for the Bengals. They haven't been traveling well this year. They've been very, very bad on the road. And like you said, their 49ers defense is still one of the best in the league. So how well can that Bengals offensive line hold up? This is gonna be an interesting game. Definitely excited. It's gonna be fun, especially too with it being at the 4 o'clock game slot. I feel like a lot of eyes are gonna be on this game because there's a lot of you gotta. Again, I still think one of the best teams in football with the 49ers, trying not to lose a third game straight. That's and you got
that's the stuff that can break a season.
And you got the Bengals team who are do or die the rest of the way. So it's the stakes don't get much higher than this game right there. So I'm excited to watch that one. Even if I wasn't a Bengals fan, I'd be excited to watch that one. All right. Next up, let's get us over to the Browns are traveling to Seattle, which you'll be there for the game. So I'll let you go ahead. Start us off with this one. What's your best picks and what's your takes on this game? How's this one going to play out?
So I got a little 4-legger going. Comes out at plus 555. The Browns are currently underdogs at plus 3.5. I like us on that line. Even if we do lose, our defense is going to keep it close enough to where it's going to be a 1-score game. I think this game comes down to a field goal one way or the other. I'm excited for it. We have a lot of travel, not much sleep, but going to get to see some good friends, have a good time.
Sleepless in Seattle, baby.
Oh, yeah. 3 other ones I got in that. PJ Walker's over underline on touchdowns is currently only at 0.5.
Okay, just got to put one in the end zone, buddy.
Just give me one. Kareem Hunt over on the receiving yards at 12.5. Okay. I feel like that's a good one. All that takes is one little screen. Get Wyatt Teller out there in front of him. That boy just likes to hit people, and he loves to play football. So I think that's a pretty safe bet. And another longest catch, Amari Cooper, 20.5 yards. I'm taking the over on that as well.
Coop. I love those bets. So I see this as being a big day for the Browns defense. I agree with you 100%. I think I love the Browns spread here. I think they definitely cover. But here's the lines that I'm looking at. I think Myles Garrett over a half a sack, so I think he gets a sack.
Yep.
I think Browns total sacks 4. Over 4 sacks.
I like that.
Over 4 sacks. All right. I also think There's two here. I definitely think Geno throws a pick.
Okay.
And here's my really big one, big money one. Sprinkle. Browns get a defensive touchdown.
I knew you were gonna say that. I was thinking it. I love it, man. I might not have a voice come next week if all those come true and all our bets go. I'm gonna be crazy out there. We're gonna create our own 12th man.
Sprinkle a little bit on Browns defensive touchdown. I think they're due. They're due for one.
Denzel Ward hasn't had a pick six in a while.
I think the tricky line here is because my gut's telling me to bet the under, but the under sets so low at 38. That sounds so crazy to me. Only 38 points. But I could see this being as like a 17-10 football game.
Yeah.
I like that's a weird score. Like, but I feel like it could be a 17-10 football game. So 38 could be right. But my gut would tell me to still bet the under. I think this is going to be one of those. I think, and again, I'm also basing this off of how Seattle played the Bengals. The Bengals ended up forcing a bunch of turnovers that game, and the Bengals offense didn't play well in the second half. Didn't turn into a super high scoring affair. I think the Browns defense is one of the best in the league still. I think they keep Seattle's offense in check. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens offensively for the Browns, with you guys having a backup in there and not your starting running back. I still think you have weapons, but I still don't think that you have your best weapons. So I could still see this as being kind of like a grimy, and depending on how the weather is, do we know what the weather's like in Seattle right now?
Looking like a high of 53 and sunny skies.
Sunny skies. So that's playing in well. That's playing against the over. But I'm still going to take the under, or it's playing for the over. I'm taking the under. I'm taking the under 38, and I'm taking Browns +4, and I'm taking all those player props.
Heck yeah.
All right. Whew. Last game. This is probably one of my favorite, and they keep coming up. Them and the Texans. Vikings and the Texans, baby. They just keep coming up, which, by the way, Texans are finally favored this week. Texans, on a side note here, the Texans are finally favored. 3 points.
That's first time all season.
To the Panthers. All right. Vikings Packers. I think it's an absolute craziness that the Minnesota Vikings are only -1.5 point favorites. Slam it. That's the biggest lock of the week that I could offer right now is Minnesota Vikings only -1.5 against the Packers. Let's get you started on the other end of this, though. How do you think you see this one playing off?
Well, all of my picks are all for the Vikings, so I think the Vikings are going to very, very, very easily cover that line. And I put $10 on it myself. Just saw it. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to just throw it a little bit at it. No big deal.
It seems too free.
Yeah, like it's just easy. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why. I try to avoid just betting money on games straight up, like aside from Cleveland teams. I just like playing props better.
Right. Same.
I saw that and I'm like, I don't know why. I just don't feel like that's going to be much of a game. Minnesota, I feel like, is starting to find their rhythm, and the Packers have almost started to look worse as the season goes on. I feel like Jordan Love's regressed a little bit. I don't know if he's just, I don't know. Defenses are throwing more at him now, giving him more respect, and he's still trying to learn to adjust with that. But I got Captain Kirk hitting the over on both of his lines, over 1.5 touchdowns and over 250 passing yards. And then I got Addison, I feel like, an easy cover at over 58.5 yards. And TJ Hawkinson's pretty easy at 54.5.
Well, we have the same bet slips. I am slamming all of Kirk's overs. I like Hawkinson's yards, but I also like his receptions too.
Yep.
I've been really on this reception train right now, and especially just because the yards are getting hairy. So I'm actually just going to be riding with just Addison's receptions. And I think KJ Osborne gets an anytime touchdown this week. I think the dude's been kind of a great little just third string, second string, little wide receiver. I've been really high on him all year. I think KJ finds the end zone. But I agree with you 100%. The biggest line here to take is, and this is the line, this is the game of all the slates. Like, if you're looking to me and again, I'm going to laugh if we're so wrong here, but the line of the
Won't be the
week,
first time.
yeah, the
Won't be the last
line of the
either.
week right now is Vikings -1.5. That's, if you look at all the games that are being played right now, Vikings -1.5. That's the lock. That's the lock. That's the one that I would feel most confident that I think the Vikings win. Like you said, the Vikings are a team that are finally clicking. Even and their Monday night performance, they did that without their best player.
Yep.
And one of the best players in the league. They did it without him. And Kirk is lights out. He's a great quarterback. I mean, I was watching his practice. They were showing practice film. He didn't have one incompletion in his practice, and they're saying about how like just proves how he's one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league. I love everything about him. I think the Vikings defense, shockingly, is starting to kind of finally find their footing because they were struggling early on in the season. This Vikings team is finally starting to play like we always knew they would. And Kirk's still having an MVP year. So Vikings -1.5, slam it. Put everything on it.
I like it.
All right, buddy. Well, any other games you like in, or any other anything else?
And I'm feeling like Jamar Gibbs got himself a little bit of taste of the end zone finally last week. I think he gets back in.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm all over Minshew madness right now, so I'm actually taking the Colts this week. I think they're playing the Saints. Colts Saints. Let me see what that. I just want to double check that line real quick.
Yeah, it's doable.
Even
The
pick them.
Saints
That's
haven't
what I
looked
thought.
great.
I thought it was a pick them. So
Do we have any update? Is Olave playing this week after
let's check it on here. Go to the
getting
injury
pulled
report.
over? Well, he got pulled over. I can't remember if it was just reckless driving. I don't believe he was drinking or anything. I didn't watch the whole video, but they were just making fun of him. Said, "I'm Chris Olave with the New Orleans Saints."
Um,
Not gonna get benched for a reckless op. I doubt it.
no, nothing being listed. All right. It's mentioned, but no, nothing's came out about it yet.
Okay.
But I'm all over Minshew madness right now. I love that. My kind of picks for the week, I'm going with Colts. Colts over the Saints, Texans over the Panthers. I'm rocking with the Eagles over the Commanders, Chiefs over the Broncos, Jets right now over the Giants, Bengals, and I think the Dolphins get one in on the Pats and Bill Belichick. Pats do not travel well to Miami, and they are playing in Miami this week. So those are my slates of the game of this week.
I mean, outside of Buffalo, how bad has the football been for New York this year?
Well,
So
you don't even know if you can really consider Buffalo. Upstate and New York are two totally different places. But the fact that they're still in the same state, yeah. If you're a Jets, I don't know. The Jets are weirdly enough. I can't believe we're even still talking about them as a team that's actually in contention right now.
yeah, I don't see it lasting though. And like just the fact that they lost Aaron Rodgers and all the hope and excitement and promise that was there, just instantly just
But he is throwing a ball now.
man, isn't it crazy what drugs can do?
Ayahuasca.
Just gotta open up your mind.
Oh, I love it, brother. All right, man. Well, hey, thank you everyone so much for tuning in. Best of luck to you at all your bets this weekend. We appreciate again all the support. Also, head on over to SoBet. download the app and put in the referral code RSR to get your sports betting needs and content. There's over 57 creators there that are giving amazing expert picks every single day. So head on over to SoBet, download the app, and enter referral code RSR to gain access to amazing sports content. Not just sports betting, but just amazing content, just in general, from some awesome dudes. Robbie, it's been a pleasure, my friend. Best of luck to
Okay.
you, and I'm sure safe travels up to Seattle.
Thank you.
Can't wait to. I hope the Browns can get it done for you, buddy.
Gonna try. Gotta try to bring this win home. Otherwise, that 5 a.m. flight back from Seattle is not gonna be enjoyable.
As someone who's had to make the trip from Cleveland, I can tell you it's not enjoyable. All right, everyone. Thanks so much. We love you all. And as always, keep the change.